Hello, we're DuckCast. We remember it so you don't have to.
Wow, nice one. Original.
This is episode 74
Yep.
of DuckCast. I'm pretty sure it is, at least. We were doing good with not checking. That was like every episode of season 3.
You know,
So how are
I
you?
love doing a podcast on YouTube. The greatest place ever. Hey, segue, by the way. Just off the top of my head, there's a topic maybe we should talk about. Can you help me out here, friend?
Yeah, so I built up something for Zach like literally seconds before we started recording. Because YouTube has a new thing now. Because someone's channel got demonetized, and she has like one of the most family-friendly channels ever.
So the day that we're recording this,
Supposedly.
apparently is when this news got brought to light. So
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter all day today, and everyone was angry about it. I saw like freaking Game Grumps complaining about it. I saw animators, Monkey Jones, like all these people just going off on it. And it's because with the new way, with the ways they're demonetizing channels. And keep in mind, I do think they will fix this because of just the massive amount of backlash they're getting for it. Your comment section can now cause demonetization. So if I don't like someone, I can go into their comment section and write horrible, offensive things, and that can get their channel demonetized. They openly said this themselves on their page, on their Twitter page.
So you can have an opinion, just don't have a negative one.
Let me pull it up just to make sure, just to be absolutely positive that I'm not like pulling this out of my ass and this is accurate. I'm sure if I scroll through long enough, I'll see the tweet pop up again.
I don't even know
But,
if,
yeah,
that one statement you
your
said,
thoughts.
like, if all these negative comments are going to change it because of that. Like, I doubt that. There have been so many things in the past that people have
But
complained
it's
about
just-
at YouTube.
This is
And they
pretty
haven't changed
extreme.
anything, nothing.
It is pretty extreme. There's a lot of like, I guess there's like a lot of stuff going on with like there being a lot of videos that are, I don't even know what to call it. There's just like some issues with pedophiles on YouTube right now, and they're cracking down on a lot of stuff because of it. I really don't know too much about that one because I
Doesn't
didn't look into
YouTube
it.
not, like, use actual people, though, to, like, monitor everything? I don't think
Yeah,
they do
well,
as much. As
What
opposed to,
the
like,
thing is, what I heard about it is that they were actually doing something about it. Like hundreds of channels were being deleted, and rightfully so. I didn't really look into that one too much, but here we go. I found it. Like I said, just have to scroll a little bit. Everyone's talking about it. So this is the original person who's talked, Jessica Ballinger. I don't know. She's okay. My 5-year-old son does gymnastics and is a happy, sweet, competent boy. YouTube, not advertiser friendly. And that shows like how all of our videos got demonetized. Team YouTube responds, "Hi there. For reference, over the past few days, we've taken a number of actions to better protect the YouTube community from the content that endangers minors." And then she says, "With regard to the actions that we've taken, even if your video is suitable for advertisers, inappropriate comments could result in your video receiving limited or no ads."
So if you talk about a child in general, you just... was that an example right there?
Well, no, it's like if you have a channel that has a child on it, I guess, it's that even if someone says something inappropriate in the comments, you could lose your money. Something that you can't possibly control unless you disable your comments, which a lot of people are going to start.
Oh, I thought it was about a certain channel commenting and that channel that commented. No,
No.
So this
No,
is out of the channel's control then.
Yeah, me or you could leave a comment and ruin someone's channel because we don't like them. This is such an
That's
easy
actually
system to abuse.
Who thought that was a good rule?
Makes
no sense.
YouTube always thinks that what they're doing is smart for some reason. They've made a video where they openly said, "So yeah, you're not always going to see your subscriptions, but if you hit the bell, then you can." That sounds good
Are
to
they
me.
like cracking
No, it
down
fucking
on
doesn't.
toxic communities or something? Like can't
know what the
other
fuck
communities
they're doing.
have discussions?
They haven't known what the fuck they've been doing for the last 5 years. Fucking Monkey Jones. We mentioned him before on the show. He got like removed from YouTube. Completely banned from it. He does actually have a new channel up, but he doesn't post on it too much just because... Well, I mean, he posts Twitch stuff, but like I think he only put up like one big scripted edited video ever since then. And it was only like 5 minutes. But like the thing is, he lost everything. and he had to move like exclusively to Patreon. He's on Twitch now, and he's on a few other video sharing websites. And one of them, which is one that just literally started up and has like no attention yet, he's the most subscribed person on the website. So he just rants about how he's the PewDiePie of that website. He said he made a video saying, I went to the store and like he waited in line for coffee and he was waiting too long. Says, hey, do you know who I fucking am? Just like shit like that. And it's great. But I think he honestly right now, and I don't have like the numbers to back this up, but I have the fact that he is still constantly making stuff to back this up. I think he is doing significantly better than people who are actually on YouTube right now. Not everyone obviously on YouTube, but there are like tons of people like who are supposed to have monetization on their channel, and they're doing worse than the person who got kicked off the channel and is like going to all these smaller websites. That says a lot about YouTube.
You know, a lot of what's happened like in the last couple of years, I feel like you blame the people at YouTube for like kind of putting the AI in control at this point now for this situation. This is 100% on the actual human beings behind it all. It's disgusting. They have this. I feel like they have this ego, this power control over everything, and they don't think YouTube should really be about the creators. As I think even a tagline, I think it is still right about the creators, and like it really is this prison feeling kind of to it.
Can I? Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
So I wanted to just mention something else for YouTube related real quick, just because I feel like since I mentioned it on previous episodes, I should give my updated opinion. I have defended Quentin reviews a bunch of times on this show, against you and Tim, actually, I believe. But I can't anymore. Everyone finally dropped all the shit that happened. And then he went on this huge fucking rant, sent Monkey Jones' parody account thinking it was the real thing, this huge message, and then the guy leaked it, and then Monkey did a video on it. And it's just like in like the days before that, he was bitching about YouTube drama, even though it was no longer a thing with him. And then he instigates more YouTube genre. I still like his videos fine, but it is very hard to respect someone.
Ever since he got big, Quinn's gotten like the biggest ego out of nowhere, and it's such a shame.
I know, and it is such a shame because I loved his like cynical sense of humor in his other videos. Like he was even up to like at the beginning of like first 4 months of 2018, like when he went on the podcast DuckCast, even when he was on that, or even kind of the official podcast, though by then that's when he was kind of starting this shit. He was still very liked by most people. He was still like it's super recent, but he's been making it worse and worse for the past few months. And I can't I'm not gonna unsubscribe from his channel. I do still like his videos sometimes. Some of them are kind of boring, but to be fair, I kind of always thought that his videos were hit and miss. But when they're hit, I really like them. But yet, I just can't fucking stand the guy anymore. Just listening to him talk on Twitter, I defended him so many fucking times, and it's just there's no excuse there. There's no excuse. People make mistakes. I hope he sees it and learns from them. To be fair, after this most recent drama, just decided to say nothing about it and has not been talking about any of it at all since it happened. So I'll give him props there, maybe, if he doesn't actually repeat it again. Maybe he fucking finally learned his lesson that he can't win these fucking fights.
Yeah.
He is very much in the wrong almost every single time, even when I agree with him a little bit. There's like 8 other things I disagree with him on, but yeah.
I think, we've all seen him in a better place before. I feel like with some resistance, some self-resistance, I feel like he could backtrack a bit and get to where he is,
Yeah.
I don't think he's evil or anything. He's just misguided, but
a lot of people got really angry at him when he made a joke about Mumkey's channel getting deleted. And honest to God, if it were anyone else, I don't think it would have the thing is, Mumkey roasted him very hard too, uninstigated, so I don't even think that was a bad thing for him to do that. I think he had every right to do that, but it's just what came after it. Just, oh my God. But anyways, that's enough talking about YouTube shit, unless if you have anything else to say.
No, not really.
I hope he pulls himself out of it, because I do still like what he does. And it's not. I mean, when I say like some of his videos are boring, it's not like even all of them are boring now. He released a video within the last 2 months that I really liked. So yeah. You have any? Look, I have another rant we could go on now if you want.
Sure.
Because we're gonna be recording an Oscars live stream soon.
Yeah. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully no problems. I mean, like, cross fingers that it goes well.
Yeah.
No internet problems or anything.
yeah. Hopefully, we'll talk about what we're gonna do with the recording afterwards. Because I tried to record it last year, and my recording has gotten worse on my computer since then. And the audio was awful in that Oscars video, so I would really like to avoid that. I think I'm going to be recording on my phone the whole time as backup, just in case if something happens and I lose some of my audio.
You fine with me recording not only my audio, but like my computer's, the Oscars audio as well as the Discord audio.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with us doing it the exact same way that we do the Stupid Mario Bros. Recordings. Honestly, I'd be perfectly okay with that.
Is it just you and me this time, or anyone else?
No, it's me, you, Chris, and Olivia.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing as last year, because, I mean, like, even though it is a fourth person this time, it's a fourth person who will be with Chris, so we're not going to have four people on the call. Yeah. Like, 4 different separate calls, I should say. So, yeah, it's just same crew as last year, but Olivia's being added. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I did invite Tim, but I don't know if I don't think he's joining us.
He at least you are fine with me, like, stopping the recording when commercials start going on, right? Just so then the clips are a lot shorter, not these huge files, right?
If you want to do that, go ahead. Only thing is we did get some funny commentary in the commercials last year.
Just so,
yeah. You don't. you can skip over that stuff. So yeah, if you're okay with that, I mean, it'll basically be the same thing as our Stupid Mario Bros. Recordings, as long as there's no issues, and you know how to get it on the YouTube TV thing. Just get the free trial.
I'll make an account on the day, and we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be easy.
Maybe do it tomorrow just to make sure. Or me and you can get on like an hour or two early and set up.
Probably do it like early that morning or something. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it.
Yeah.
Be fair, I did get YouTube TV like last year. I got YouTube TV like 30 minutes before the Oscars.
If it goes fine with you, it could go fine with me. I'm sure it's a simple process.
Again, but let's. I hope we don't.
Trial.
I hope we're all fine with it. I hope that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
I think we've only had one night where it went so badly. We just postponed it. And we can't postpone the Oscars is the thing. But I think when we did season 3 with Will, that was the only time. By the way, what did you think of the newest one with the Direct?
I liked it. There's one thing, I forget what it was. Oh yeah, there was the context of me going for the internet thing, and like there was no context.
I thought it was funny though.
I know, but it was like as if I was like at the Smash Brothers thing. It's like, why would I do that?
I did it intentionally. I thought that was funny because they gave absolutely no news.
I know, but like the technical, it's what's the word? What's the word?
It's like misguided or
manipulated.
Manipulative?
Yeah. It's a bit
manipulated the footage.
Edited, yeah.
It's not manipulation of the audience or anything.
See, here's the thing. If the editor is in the video and they say a thing, then it's fine if the editor decides to cut out what they say, whatever. But when it's someone else, that's a bit, okay, look, that's not what I meant.
I get it. I don't really want to, like, we do
feel
that
like it's a bit,
I include our internet problems in so many of them, and I just didn't want to do it this time.
You gotta think of it, though. I hear what you're saying. However, like, say someone comes to your channel for the first time, that's their first video. They won't know. That's the mindset you got. It's a standalone thing.
Okay, well, I won't do that again. Honestly, I didn't think anything of it when I did it, but if you don't want me doing it,
I feel like it would have been a lot funnier too. Just like, the internet problems, relatable. I don't know.
I'm just so tired of doing that because I did a big one for Act 2 as well.
It could kind of be like a running joke, honestly, if you do.
Yeah, but like I just don't want it in every single one of them, and it'll probably happen in the Stupid Mario Bros. Again because they're such long videos, and something is just bound to happen in between that.
Here's the obvious insert. What time did we record? Comments here.
I don't know.
I'll say at 7:16 is when we started. So
Yeah, I feel like 10 minutes sounds right. So at 8:16, stop.
okay.
Or go a little over or a little under. Normally the episodes are a perfect hour. So the Oscars did something hilarious over the last couple months. You know the whole cinematography and editing thing that we mentioned before to you? Not in an episode, but in a call. Yeah, they like got so much backlash that those 4 categories are back into the Oscars.
Oh, good.
But you want to let me go. I listed it. They have done something just to take it back 4 times, and we're on a 5th thing. Because they did something immediately after the whole remove 4 categories thing that made people upset again. So let's start off. First, they were going to have a popular category, like they were going to have a popular film award, popular category. And I don't really know what the intention was. Speculation makes me think they wanted to give Black Panther that instead of Best Picture. But everyone got angry and they said, okay, I'm sorry, we'll take it back. So that's not a category anymore. They were going to try to add a category, but take out fucking cinematography. Just keep that in mind. Kevin Hart was going to host the Oscars, but then because of a tweet, okay, I'm sorry, he won't host the Oscars. They were going to, instead of having, you know how like every year they have all the nominated best songs perform? We're only going to do 2 this year, and that made a lot of people angry, including Lady Gaga, who is going to be one of the performers this year. So they got so much backlash that now they're back to playing all the songs again. Then they removed 4 categories from the show, one of them being cinematography and editing, and thank God they picked those 2, because I swear if they would have picked like a lesser category, the outrage wouldn't have been as big. How fucking stupid are they? It's film. You learn in a fucking high school class that the editor and the director are the 2 people that work the closest together. The editor is the closest person to the director. You're gonna take editing out, and then cinematography, the fucking thing that's showing the movie, you're gonna take that away. That's the dumbest fucking thing. If anything, and I don't think that any category should be removed, because it's like, it's, you know, you shouldn't, no, everyone's working hard. They shouldn't have their credit taken away from them because you don't consider it important. But if anything, take out the short film categories. There's an animated short, there's a documentary short, there's a live action short. I don't think they should be cut, but that should go way before you fucking cut out cinematography and editing.
If this is your rant on this unscripted, I would love to see how it would be scripted and put on YouTube. Like, I feel like you should have done this by now. You're very passionate about this topic, dude.
They're just like, it's so hilarious because we've been making fun of the Academy. Like we did it last year when we recorded that, and this year we're just making fun of it. You know, there is one positive that comes out of it, which is if an unknown director gets an award, it can help them. That's the good thing that the Oscars do, and it's the only good thing they do. But other than that, it's just a shit show that's fun to watch and make fun of, and then put a video out on it. That is the only enjoyment I've ever gotten out of this fucking show. Only fucking enjoyment. Sometimes the musical performances are good, but I'm looking forward to this year because one of the songs that got nominated is the one at the end of the short one from the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. And I'm looking forward to them performing that one. But aside from that, although apparently the Black Panther song isn't getting performed. I didn't even know there was an original song in Black Panther.
I don't remember any Netflix series. I'm probably wrong. I don't remember any Netflix series being nominated for anything at the Oscars. But
well, a series wouldn't. First of all, a movie would. But but Roma, I mean, a lot of these movies are shown at film festivals and then brought to Netflix. None of them really ever make their debut. But The Ballad of Buster Scruggs has a couple of things it's up to win.
Cool.
Roma is a Netflix original that came from a different country. It's up for foreign film. It's up for Best Picture. It's up for Best Leading Actress, Best Supporting Actress. It's up for a ton of things. That one's Netflix. I think there's another one. There's a couple of documentaries that are from Netflix that are making it in. So Netflix does have a couple.
What if we do a gag where we have our own award shows with you, me, Chris, and Olivia while watching the Oscars? Like a little bingo checklist kind of thing? Like at certain points we just like, okay, like, I don't know, like, for example, like, how many times did Zach say, oh, I haven't seen this movie or some bullshit, you know?
Well, I did that last year.
Yeah, you know, like Zach, a recurring thing, or just, like, throw
Zach
something.
didn't see the movie count, and then though Zach did see the movie count, went up one when Boss Baby was shown on the screen. I've seen almost all the animated picks. I'm not going to do Ralph Breaks the Internet. I just refuse. But I liked Incredibles 2 fine. Spider-Verse and Isle of Dog are masterpieces. Personally, I'm going to go with Spider-Verse because I like the characters more.
Mm-hmm.
But Isle of Dogs, I think, animation-wise, is just as deserving.
Did you? Speaking of Spider-Verse, just quickly, did you ever see on YouTube? There's this little short with Peter Porker, him fighting or not fighting, but like getting captured by a lobster. It's like a 1 or 2 minute short. I recommend it. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Okay. So it can make me a recommended video for this one.
Yeah.
This episode.
It's fun.
So I really like. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I've seen 4 of the Best Picture nominations so far. I'm at least going to do one more of them. I might try to do all 4, but the issue is none of them are available for rent anywhere. So I don't want to spend too much money. I can't spend too much money on these movies.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to see The Favorite. I've seen Black Panther, Roma, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Black Klansman. I think Black Klansman is the one I enjoyed the most of those 4.
I wanted to see that movie.
Yeah. I think Roma is a better made movie, like visually and acting-wise, it's better. Mm-hmm. I just think it's really slow and it's not personally for me. But it's still, it's objectively well made. It's very well shot. I would recommend it, but just keep in mind it's slow as hell. But I think you're okay with stuff being slow. Black Panther, I already told you it's okay. We talked about that a bunch last episode. And then Bohemian Rhapsody is it really is just the performance on Freddie Mercury. It's like someone went onto the Queen Wikipedia page and just said, okay, this can be a scene, this can be a scene, this can be a scene. It's not like the last 20 minutes just look like a concert being filmed, which, it's uninspired. It's really uninspired. And I was excited for Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's presentation-wise, it's really boring. And during the concert scene at the end, it really is just like them filming a concert. I swear to God, they have these 8 different shots they keep cutting back to. It's super repetitive, and it's enjoyable because Rami Malek, the guy who played Freddie Mercury, has a really good impression, and he sings the songs very well, and it's very, very well done. But it's just he's carrying the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And it's I think it's awful directing and not awful cinematography as in it looks bad, but super uninspired.
Every time I was asked to go see the movie, I was I heard it's pretty bad. And it's no, I heard it's really good.
I hope he gets Best Actor though, because I think that he captured Freddie Mercury excellent. I think it would be worth seeing in theaters if you like Queen music. That's it. It'd be great to hear Queen music on those surround speakers and seen it the whatever imagery they do decide to show on the screen. I think that would have been cool. I watched it on a TV at home, but
I think they're doing another based on a musician movie, Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man. I think Beatles has one coming out called Yesterday, unless if that was fake. Yeah, it's boring as hell. Yeah, but and the last thing that the Oscars did, this is the most recent thing they did, because they're really trying to cut time, and I'm gonna, after I say this, let me tell you what I think they should do to cut time, because I think we saw a bunch of unnecessary stupid shit last year when we watched the show. They are gonna, this is only something I heard, I didn't actually look this one up, I probably should have, this is hearing from another movie podcast that they're doing this, that, I guess it's tradition. I didn't even know this. It's tradition that the winners from last year come up on stage and announce a lot of the winners for this year. And they're not doing that this year. And I don't know what the hell they're going to do to announce the awards then. But everyone in the... Hollywood, as much as people hate the Oscars, Hollywood used to love them. Now even Hollywood fucking hates them. Just everyone's shitting on them because they don't know what the fuck they're doing at all. It's embarrassing. Now, do you remember last year... watching Jimmy Kimmel constantly interrupt the show with his unfunny little skits in between? Do you remember all of the pointless movie montages where they reminded us these movies exist? Do you remember them getting a bunch of celebrities to go into a movie theater with a bunch of people trying to preview a movie and hey, we're interacting with normies. Let's give them food. Let's throw popcorn at them. We're interacting with the peasants. It's just that stuff was in there. So why not just cut that stupid shit out? What is going to go in the place of what they keep trying to cut from this fucking show? It's so easy. You don't even have a host this year. That should make it so fucking easy. I think cutting Jimmy Kimmel alone will save you a significant amount of time. Remember last year how that guy tried to give a speech at the end, but they ran out of time for him? They took the mic away from him?
I guess.
Oh, stupid. Fuck these people. Fuck the Academy. They're awful, and we're going to trash them so hard on Sunday. All right. Well, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about. It went on about the YouTube and Oscars thing way longer than I thought we would, but thanks for listening.
I liked your rant.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Do you have anything you want to talk about? Because I do have like one other thing here, actually, but I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I woke up this morning, like, it was a pretty normal day, and then I just, like, I go say hi to family, whatever, and, like, no one told me except for my mom. I'm like, hey, how's it going, you know? And she says, like, earlier this morning, my sister and her boyfriend were in the kitchen, and her boyfriend was, like, cutting up something with a knife, and apparently he cut himself, and, like, blood was spraying, and I didn't even hear anything all morning. Heard no screaming, no nothing. Apparently they were very calm about it. And when I was talking to my mom, like, they were apparently at the hospital by the time I was talking to them. I'm like, wow.
God.
And I saw, like, I heard they cleaned it up. I saw, like, a few little stains somewhere and some things. I'm like, I just got so woozy hearing about it. But, like, my sister's boyfriend is a paramedic, so he's used to it, you know? He doesn't care. He's literally held a man's heart in his hand, so, yeah, he doesn't care, but, like...
I guess the blood doesn't get to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I get so queasy just thinking about that. Like, I can't handle losing blood, and I've never like lost a lot of blood, but I get like lightheaded so easily with that. Not looking at blood, I can look at blood fine, but when I'm actually like losing any of it, it just bothers me. So it does not take long for it to like really get to me.
Yeah, if when it starts to like get to that point where it's like really coming out, where it starts to drip, like a lot, and.
Yeah,
you know, that's when it's like, okay, I'm losing things that should be a part of me. That's not good. Like, you start freaking out, then while you're touching it, you feel the stinging pain, and you're like trying to find a towel, and then when you take your hand off to grab the towel, you know it's exposed, and
it's just coming down.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, and now I'm putting pressure on it. That feels great too.
I once I was on the treadmill, and it was on the treadmill barefoot. And I don't know how, but I managed to trip, and like my foot got stuck on something as I fell, and my entire big toe's toenail got ripped off, the entire thing, and there was some blood involved, and I felt so fucking sick. But is your girlfriend, sister's boyfriend okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He got some stitches. He's good. Yeah,
good.
He doesn't. I mean, he didn't care. They were both very calm about it. My mom was the one freaking out. I didn't hear a thing. Apparently, I don't know how I didn't, but yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, damn.
Anything else?
I saw a show, but I don't know if you've seen it or not. If not, I might recommend it someday, like a few episodes.
What? Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. Have you seen
it? I watched the first 10 minutes of episode 1, and then I think my dad asked me to do something. Oh, wait, no. My mom asked if she could have the TV, and I said, okay. I was just, I let her watch something. And
do you want me to recommend it to you someday, or are you going to watch it yourself?
I'll probably watch it myself, and I might even do one of the TV dinner episodes on it.
I remember I was like scrolling through Instagram, and I see this video pop up of like the scene with the kids that you'll see in the first episode, the kids fighting some bank robbers, and it was such a cool looking scene. And then I hear later on, I think from this one YouTuber, like that, oh, apparently this show is getting a lot of praise. I'm like, oh wow, I wonder what is it on Netflix? I'm looking on Netflix. Oh, look at that! And I binged it the last 4 or 5 days. Such a great show.
Yeah, and like I will get into it. It's like it is like 10 1 hour long episodes, so it's gonna be a 10-hour watch.
The episodes feel like very, very they take a while. By the time you get near the end, you're like, oh wow, I feel like this is the second episode of this one episode already. It's crazy long show.
I think that Tim was retweeting it, and that's how I learned that it was coming out. I don't know, it was him or either him or some other guy I follow right now. But
I will say, as great as the show is, there's I don't see this as a bad thing, but like you'll notice that there's a lot of things that you'll see coming, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I feel like some people do complain about it, and that's fair enough. More I guess it's preference, but
Yeah.
I feel like they do such a great job at you know that a certain scene's coming up, maybe a fight or a talk, but they know how to hype up a scene. And when it happens, you don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know. And again, it's about superpowers and very sci-fi. There's even some time travel in it. It's very fun and all over the place, and it's pretty great. It's not perfect. There's some things that are kind of mad. There's a romance thing with two characters that you might not like. I didn't care for it that much. A lot of people don't. But overall, the series is very good, and it leaves off on such a tease for a cliffhanger at the very end, which is all I'm gonna say about the end. But it's a great show. I can't wait for the second season.
Is the father gonna turn out to still be alive?
You'll watch.
What if I just fucking guessed it?
No,
That's
what
happened.
you'll watch. Don't worry, you'll watch.
That'd be. I'm almost like thinking that might be what it is now. We'll see.
You'll see.
We'll bring it back on the show, or I'll just look like an asshole.
I can't wait to talk about it with you, though. After I finished the show, like I was just scrolling at YouTube videos, looking at what other people's opinions were.
That's the show that you were going to recommend to me if I've already seen your movie, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said I was able to guess it before you said it because I was just like, oh yeah, I've seen this is a brand new show that just came to Netflix, and I watched it, and I was thinking Zach might like this.
I personally enjoyed it better than both seasons of Stranger Things. Personally, that's just more of my genre, I guess. But...
Yeah, I mean, Stranger Things isn't Stranger Things is decent, but it's not like an amazing show or anything. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's a fun show, but Umbrella Academy kind of looks like it's up that alley where it will just kind of be a fun show to watch, not like high art or anything. I'm also watching Russian Doll, which is a new Netflix original, and it's kind of like just another Groundhog's Day ripoff, but I think I like the main character, and I'm kind of interested in watching more. It's like a shorter show, too. It's 8 20-minute episodes, so it's easier to get through. I like the main character, and some of the side characters are a little funny. But it's very similar to Groundhog's Day. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, the Bill Murray.
Groundhog's Day. Yeah. It's like people joke about it now that basically just like Groundhog's Day is like a genre now because of how many people steal that story. But there's that Happy Death Day movie. Like the sequel just came out. That's another Groundhog's Day ripoff. Cool. I was gonna say one more note before. I guess then we'll get to our movies because honestly, we are getting like pretty close to the halfway point here. Mm-hmm. I think we're I don't know. It just kind of varies for each episode. But I wanted to talk about old episodes a little bit, just because I've been listening to I stopped kind of listened to 1 through 20 very close to each other, like as they were coming out, and then I stopped by season 2, and I would just say, okay, I'll look back at these in like a year or two, and then I'll enjoy them more. And I gotta say, I think season 4 is by far, because I'm not going in order, I'm just doing it randomly. I think season 4, based on what I'm listening to, is by far our best season. I think that we're a lot more focused. The only one, and I haven't listened back to the Teddy episode one yet. I know I was drunk and talking over Teddy a lot, so my assumption is I'm not going to like that one. The only episode that I listened back to from season 4 so far that I've really hated is the Jeremy one, and it's not because, it's just because I do not think we engaged with Jeremy well at all. I felt like, and I don't blame Jeremy, because we had we had 8-Bit on and Will on. I felt like we immediately started asking and talking about stuff that was relevant to them immediately. We got them into the conversation immediately, while Jeremy, there was a long wait because we did this to Brent in an older episode where we spent the first 20 minutes talking about Rich Alvarez. What the hell was Brent going to say about Rich Alvarez? He doesn't watch that channel.
Exactly.
And I feel bad with those episodes. I have picked a new least favorite episode after listening to the old ones. So I know what you think about
so
this.
So it's better than the Macklin Smorty episodes then? Or worse?
Well, the Macklin Smorty episodes probably are actually the worst ones. Mm-hmm. I almost don't count those because it's just such a weird format.
Ken and Michael, you have to count them.
I guess. I can't, not counting Macklin Smorty, my least favorite episode was always the one that we acknowledged. That's just the bad. It was literally titled "Nothing Happens." It's episode 10. It was we went on with nothing to say. And it was just so funny because it was 10, it was double digits. It was kind of a big milestone. Isn't that funny that to get to that milestone it's 9,
we
and to get
completely butchered it,
and then get to the 3 digits, it takes it takes 90 to get to that one. Uh-huh. But yeah, it's funny. So yeah, like I listened back to a lot of episodes and I recovered an old one that I hated so much. And most of the episodes that I hate for a reason, which is something I did. It has nothing to do with you or the guest.
I
It's
doubt
normally
that
like
with me, but yeah, let's go on.
well, I have a lot of episodes where I talk about my projects and that never got made, and I like go into great detail about stuff that like really isn't interesting. And I try real hard to be funny rather than just be natural, and I can't stand it. Not all of them are like that. There's even episodes in season 1 that I still think are great. It's just some episodes I decided, okay, I'm going to talk about my own shit for this episode. That's going to be my show note, and that's not fun. That's not a good show. That's not good show notes. Even if I made those projects, that wouldn't have been enjoyable to listen to. Mm-hmm. But I found one where I felt like the reasons I hate it were equal between me, you, and the guest. So it's an equal hatred for everyone involved in that one.
Oh boy.
My least favorite episode of the show, I believe it's like the end of season 2, is when me, you, and Cody did an episode where he just kept breaking into different characters. I have a big fucking outburst at you at the end, and you contribute literally nothing to the entire episode.
I think from what I remember, I liked the Cody parts of the episode because he kept switching. I like the fact that there was going to be like this really long title, and then YouTube didn't allow me to make a really long title with all the names of the characters. I hated that YouTube did that, but I love that Cody just did a whole episode just doing different characters and didn't try to contribute.
I think it's like almost a beautifully horrible episode. It's not. I don't even know if I can say it's boring. I wasn't bored to listen to it. I was just so fucking annoyed the whole time, like reliving trying to do the show, but Cody won't take it seriously, and then you're not saying anything, and then would you be mad at me if I called you out on something?
I mean, I've probably been guilty of that for most of the series anyway, so I get it.
There's the one part that gets me to fucking flip out in the episode is I'm talking over Cody at one point.
Wait, that's the episode where you're trying to do that gag and we just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, you wouldn't let me do it. It was the fucking moose.
I hated that moose.
But there was like a part where like I started talking over Cody because I was trying to finish my sentence, and then you say, "All right, stop. Would you stop?" Like you like completely go off. You said, "Would you stop interrupting him? You've been doing that this whole show." And then I fucking lose my fucking temper so much because I'm like, you interrupt me all the fucking time. And then you say, no, I don't. And like, it turns into like a real argument briefly. But to be fair, I listened back to the episode. You do interrupt a lot in that episode. You do. Like, I do too. But that was like, it's just, I feel like to you and Cody, it'd be the funniest thing to go back. Like, seriously, go back, listen to it maybe before next show and tell me what you think. Yeah. Because I think it's not like episode 10 where it's just boring, but it's just so uncomfortable to listen to. The whole thing. It's just such a disaster. I just completely forgot that whole thing existed. I forgot that he broke into all the characters. I forgot about my outburst at the end. And it's just so bad. It's like it's such a cringe fest. There's some good ones though. I love the one with me, you, Tariq, Chris, and Olivia. I like the Pinsack one a lot. Jeremy was in an older episode that I liked him in. I thought that was a way better one. He's been in a lot though. He's been in like almost every season, I think. I like the Austin one from 3 because we did 2 episodes with him. Mm-hmm. And I like the Stort one. The Stort one's good. Yeah. But yeah, I've been listening to a bunch of old episodes, and I've been listening to the season 4 episodes as they've been coming out.
The most memorable moment for me was the last 10-20 minutes of episode 19. I think it was when it was just an awesome episode, but Cody came in the end. And we just tried to do role play and and the editing just going back and forth from the profile pictures was great.
That one is good. That one is good because it's literally just Cody like refusing to like acknowledge anything.
I want to do something like that again. Like it's so
just
fun.
Do a Dungeons and Dragons episode of DuckCast.
Yeah,
we could do a Dungeons and Dragons episode. The only issue with doing that would be we'd have to do like fast-paced Dungeons and Dragons because we wouldn't want to do it for like 80 episodes.
Well, it doesn't exactly have to be Dungeons and Dragons, just role-playing.
It could be role-play.
Come up with some sort of format for it, for a podcast, but still have a role-play. We gotta come up with a format for it, but yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would agree with you though that Mac will probably the 2 worst episodes, but it's just like almost weird to count them because it's not like a pod. It is a DuckCast episode, but it's like almost not a podcast.
Well,
We're not talking.
it was one of those meme ones. It was like, hey, let's just do some episodes where we're just reading some old stories I wrote. Here we go.
I'm glad we stopped that, and I mean that was all on me. I apologize, but what about you? Do you ever listen to old episodes? Have you? I probably should have told you
the older ones, and like even lately, like I don't even, because I know that there's no I try to make sure I remember, like, if there's any moments where one of us says, or a guest says, like, hey, put this in post-production. Lately there hasn't been any of that, so I just don't even listen to the episodes. I just kind of cut out the beginning and end, and then just render out the video, because I can't listen to my voice. I just don't want to. I have other things to do. Just render it out, post it, done.
I'm always okay with listening to my own voice in a podcast. I just don't like it when it's like revisiting a really old one. But there's a season. I still think that Lol Sorry Man might be like the funniest episode, just because every category, like, that wasn't the only funny part of it. It was just going through the whole thing. Yeah. I thought it was great. I thought every topic was interesting. I thought Mitzi was a great guest.
I remember there being a Poplio argument in that one.
Poplio, yes.
Lord and Savior.
Lord and Savior Poplio. There was so many old DuckCast memes, like, oh, glorious Yonkapur.
Oh, yeah. We gotta come up with new ones someday. We do a lot of movie talk nowadays. We gotta get Mimi again.
Yeah, it's normally for guest
Back
episodes,
to our
though.
roots.
We got to get like the right guests on for that. I don't know. I've really enjoyed the movie format that we brought to the show. Honestly,
I don't think I've ever asked you yet. I've been meaning to for many episodes now. Do you like the titles now with, like, not only the movies, but, like, just having like 3 or 2 subjects in the titles, and not like something like Lol Sorry Man.
Yeah, but I do like that we I do think sometimes if we have a good idea for, like, just a silly name, that you should give it that.
Yeah, I don't find many opportunities lately, though. So
yeah,
I feel like it's a lot easier just to.
I think we only had one this season so far. Like, the first episode's called Commit in Sudoku, and then after that, I think it's all like the description.
I should probably put YouTube in the title for this one, since we did talk about it in the beginning. Maybe the movies, even though it's the last, but I usually put the movies anyway.
I think you should put the Oscars in over YouTube, though, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Oscars 20...
I also
Oscars
think
or Oscars 2019, you think?
Just put in the Oscars, because they'll know the time for those who actually want to listen to it. Do you think that I have nothing to base this off of, because obviously we wouldn't be able to find them. I mean, do you think it would be a fair statement to say it's possible that we have the longest running podcast that doesn't have a big audience at all, like even a small audience?
No. I mean, what do we get? Like somewhere near 10, right? I'm sure there's people that get like 1 or 2 per episode.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Yeah, but like, do they have, I guess your buddies do the stupidly sophisticated?
Let me look at their channel. Let's see. Let's compare. Let's do it.
Because I don't think that I looked at their channel the other day, and I don't think they get a lot of views, but they're they're clearly very passionate.
I was about to say, now we're about to call them out. Let's do it.
No. They've released more episodes than us as of recently, and like, I mean, if they seem like, I mean, podcasting is
45 right now, and they've been doing it for way less. Yeah, 5 months ago is when they started, and they've already have 45 episodes out. They're consistent.
So they do it a lot quicker. Do they actually like record together, or are they friends online? I forget.
I think when I was on, they were in the same room.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, no, I liked their show. I only watched the one in it because I don't really have a reference on them aside from that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I liked it. It was a good episode. I like the random questions they ask you, and ask you what you thought about Russia and all. But
I forgot that.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. Honestly, and they're very good with like interacting with the guests. I think they did better than we do sometimes. Granted, they don't really seem to have a lot of guest episodes out there right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I liked it. Yeah. I got to contact actually a radio show at our school for a sound recording project. I forgot, because they do a podcast. Like, we all pick show, and I pick one where it's like kind of a podcast, but they do play music too. And it's just 2 other students doing it. I got to contact the one guy and like ask him a few questions for a project I'm doing. So I meant to do that fucking Wednesday. I forgot all about it, but it should be okay. All right. So you want to get to the movies now?
Sure. What do you want to start with first?
I can start with let's start with Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
I actually watched my movie a day after the DuckCast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 days. It might have been a Sunday. We always record on
Maybe we
Fridays.
should
So.
start with the first, second, and then third story.
Yeah, yeah. So there's the little opening, of course, first, and I never even knew that restaurant scene existed. And then I really didn't. It's a very weird way that they set up the story. I mean, I don't necessarily take issue with it, but it's not like they play two clips that are from two of the different stories. But they do that like before they like all three of the stories. They're out of order, but they show two small bits of two separate stories at the very beginning. I guess both of them, the two clips they played, were from the last story. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a very, very weird setup. Very weird, but it almost like in a weird way, it kind of works. Like it didn't really bother me. It's just I'm just questioning. And I guess at the diner, it's just kind of funny to see that at the very beginning of the movie. It goes away forever, and you, okay, what the hell was the point of that? And then the very last scene, it's back at the diner, like, oh, okay, so this is what it's all leading to. These two are going to be there with them. Well, anyway, when was the last time you saw this movie? Like, how refreshed are you on it?
I don't know, like maybe a month or two.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. It's only been like less than a Punch Drunk Love because I showed it to my brother. I was a very big fan of this movie. I thought I would be. It's been built up for so many years. That was the only fear, that it's so built up that it could be extremely disappointing. That's definitely been in my experience with movies like The Blues Brothers, where just build up all these years, and then I watch and it's just the most mediocre thing to me. But Pulp Fiction really was just as good as I wanted it to be. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. I might...
Really?
Maybe I'll think of something. I did give it a 10 out of 10. On my IMDb.
I would say The Departed was more entertaining for me compared to Pulp Fiction.
For me, I'll give something a 10. I understand, like, saying it's very hard to say there's something wrong with a movie, but, like, I don't know. Like, for me, the movie both has to have, like, no problems, and I have to really, really love it, too. Like, I mean, it has to be... Like, Grand Budapest Hotel is a movie that I don't really have many issues with, and I do like it a lot. But I still gave it like a 9 out of 10 just because it's not like top tier for me. It's just really good. But I've seen, like, there's movies out there I like more, and I kind of want the best ones be selected in the 10 out of 10 category. 'Cause I'm so fucking specific with these numbers for some reason. It's probably irritating, actually. But the Pulp Fiction, I just kind of immediately wanted to rewatch it. Like, I loved it. I was entertained by the entire thing. I watched the first story is the one where Vincent Vega takes out Marcellus's wife for a night of fun, and I did enjoy that one a lot. I think it's the weakest of the three, but still not bad. It's just like really good dialogue between the two at the restaurant.
What did you think of like before that, where the two his character and then Samuel L. Jackson's character, their whole band, they just casually talk right before going into some sort of scene with bullying or killing these young kids, and
yeah. Do you want to like save all of
their
for,
relationship?
The last story? You want to save all of that for the last story since it's technically part of that one?
I'm just saying, like in the beginning. Of the movie,
I do love that scene. Now the thing is, I've seen all of that. That's like I said. I've seen.
Wasn't that scene shot all in one shot? Like them going all the way up and then like knocking on the door, going to the end of the hallway, and then standing and talking, and then they wait and go back.
Definitely not from the point where they're in the car driving, but from when they get out that room, it very well may have been. I did really love that I did see that scene before. I did see all of that before. Because I said I've seen a lot of Pulp Fiction before, but I just never sat down and watched the whole movie. You could almost like, dude, The Simpsons has referenced Pulp Fiction so much that you could almost like make every single scene from the movie with like different Simpsons clips. They've done like they've parodied that movie. But I really enjoyed the first one. I like that scene a lot, the first one. But I think like out of all of the main characters, Vincent Vega is the least interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge John Travolta fan to begin with, but I mean he's fine. He's just kind of a quiet guy.
I feel like the others have a much more memorable personality.
Stronger. Yeah.
I honestly, like, I can only think of 3 characters out of that entire movie that actually, like, you can take them out of the movie and put them in something else and they would stand out because their personalities are so recognizable.
I think
Those being Samuel L. Jackson's character, the second story is, I forget the actor's name, and the black
Bruce
guy.
Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis's character and the black guy who got raped in the second story.
Yeah.
Those three characters. Those three characters are the
up.
only memorable ones in the whole movie, which is not a bad thing. But
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I don't even agree with that necessarily. I think.
Any others?
I can think of others.
Maybe Uma Thurman. Yeah.
Who?
Uma Thurman's character in the first story, the girl.
The first story. Oh, she was okay too. I thought her and Vince Vega.
She was odd enough to be memorable.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't as bland as Vega. She worked fine for the story. I actually think Bruce Willis's girlfriend in the second short was more interesting than both of them. I mean, she was just kind of like, dialogue-wise, I thought the two had like a very believable connection, and I enjoyed it. She doesn't do anything like super interesting. She stays at the apartment the entire thing. But I thought she had like a very strong personality in the scene that she was in.
Okay.
I like the part where he calls her a fucking retard, and she gets. That's not even what she gets angry about. It's something else. But I think Quentin Tarantino's character had more personality.
Oh yeah. His.
Like,
and the other guy, the mustachio. Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
him.
memorable characters.
Forgot about that.
I think. So yeah, I mean, again,
You know what though? Those two characters were in it so briefly.
The doctor that gives him the heroin, and is it heroin that he gives him?
I don't think it was. It wasn't even a doctor. It was just some guy who had the tools and didn't know how to use it.
But he was able to like bring her back. It wasn't. No, it was cocaine, but it was in a balloon, so she thought it was heroin, and then she injected herself with it, or something like that. I think I'm getting that detail right. I was very drunk when I watched the first story. And then I turned it off and watched the rest of it the next day sober. So yeah, I watched it in 2 sit-ins. I did watch it like by story, so it wasn't like I stopped in the middle of one of the stories. I really So I like the scene with them like trying to revive her the most in the first story. That was like the funniest and most interesting part of it, I think. But the dialogue's very well written in every scene. That's the great thing. Like you can have these characters just sitting in their car, sitting in a restaurant, and the dialogue is good. It's very well written. Like that's something that Quentin Tarantino's always been very excellent at. So the second story,
it's my favorite personally.
Yeah, it might be my favorite. The third one's really great too.
There's more scenes that you remember out of the three. The third one, it's a lot shorter, but like, and it only takes place in like kind of one thing. Once it starts to get to the confrontation with the two,
it takes place in just about as many places as the second one does.
The third one.
You have the scene. Yeah, the third one. Yeah, you have the scene at the place that they just shot
Very
up together.
Briefly, though.
You have them back on the road. Well, you have it there for at least 2 minutes or 3. I don't know. Like then they're back.
Once it gets to like the part where they're already the robbers are already shooting up the place or trying to rob the place, and Samuel L. Jackson sits the guy down. He's talking to him one-on-one. That lasts way longer. I feel like in the third act.
Yeah, but Bruce Willis and his his girlfriend are in the apartment for a very long time. Regardless, it's all great stuff. Like the second one was really good. It's really fun. I think it's the most fucked up of the 3, just because of that scene. The Simpsons did reference that, like basically recreated that scene in one of their episodes. There's an episode called 22 Short Films in Springfield or something like that, and it's just like cutting around the town, showing what all the different side characters are doing in one day. And there's a scene where I don't know how many of the Simpsons characters you know who Snake is.
No.
He's just like this character on the show who's always breaking the law and is a fugitive. And you know who Chief Wiggum is, right? Everyone knows Chief Wiggum.
No.
The fat police officer.
Oh, Chief Wiggum.
Yeah, Chief Wiggum.
You say Chief?
I might have said Chief by accident.
Okay.
I still have some minor speech impediment problems sometimes.
Good stuff.
Anyway, he's walking across. It plays that scene where like they walk across she's walking across the street while the guy's parked. And then, like, he pulls out his gun and shoots. You know that scene? What scene I'm talking about? When Marcellus and, I forget Bruce Willis's character's name right now, but Marcellus and him go on their little chase. What starts it? He's just walking across the street, looks over at him in the car. He's like, oh my God, and pulls his gun out.
Yeah.
There's a scene in The Simpsons where Snake is just driving by, and then Chief Wiggum's walking across the street with a box of donuts, and just looks over him and just smiles and says, hey, I know you. And then he runs him over. then they end up in one of the characters' shops who pulls a gun at them, and they start doing the same thing, but Milhouse ends up saving them. It's really weird. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I thought that one was very interesting. It also felt like it kind of ran off three. It's like it ran off like its own 3-act structure and within its short runtime. And it gets really fucked up, and it's very satisfying seeing those fucking 3 people because they really deserve it. I mean, not that like any of the characters in this movie are good people, but they really deserved it.
I think
so. It's very satisfying to see Bruce Willis come in and like with a sword and fucking kill him.
A katana, I think it was.
Yeah, katana.
I think in the third story, I'll go back to the second story, but like in the third story, Samuel L. Jackson's character has this speech about like good people or bad people or like or like something. I forget the exact speech. Something was it about good people acting like heroes or something like that or whatever. But like the second story, I feel like was like it was like the definition of whatever that speech was. I feel like, or maybe all the stories combined, but like that one I feel like was the most solidified one. In my opinion, from what I remember.
Morality is a weird thing in this movie because
was morality the subject of it, the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's definitely a lot. I
haven't watched any videos about the movie yet.
Yeah, I mean, I honest to God, I think morality is a big part of it, especially with his speech at the end. And like, I don't know, like just honor or the different. I don't know, because you have Marcellus let Bruce Willis live at the end of the second one because of what he does for him. On like clearly that some of the characters seem to have at least better traits than other characters. Like some of them are bad people, but they wouldn't rape someone. I don't know. Like I
found that so interesting and new though, that like someone like Bruce Willis's character, like before walking out, decides, my greatest enemy right here, I'm gonna save him from being raped with a katana. Like takes his time, looks around the shop, and like just gets the best weapon he can find, and just comes in a badass. It's just so unexpected, so great. Yeah,
it's good. It's really good. And the third one I love a lot too. I think I agree. I think the second one just has the most. It's like very fast paced. Yeah. It's very interesting. Bruce Willis used to be such an amazing actor. Samuel L. Jackson is obviously a very good part of it too. It's funny too because this is I just saw them in Glass together. This is an older movie they did together as well as Unbreakable. But
I think Samuel's character was my favorite out of the whole movie, though.
I would agree.
The second's my favorite story. Like Samuel's character, he was just so your eyes can't take your eyes off of his character. Every word that comes out of his mouth, he's so spiritual and odd, but he acts like he's very wise, and you believe him. Yeah, and he was so young back then. He was able to still do that.
Yeah, it was really great. Everything about it was really great. The stuff in the I thought the scene.
What'd you think of Sorry, going back to the second story, the John Travolta's character's death. Just that came out of nowhere, and then you see in the third story he's alive, and you're like, oh my god.
You ever see Burn After Eden?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of reminded me of that, with just how quickly it happens, like this really fast death scene.
I hate how it went nowhere after that. We get like no one knowing about it, finding out about it. It's like we just.
I don't think it was necessary. I don't think it was needed.
But it was like, oh.
And I think it adds so much to the last story where, not only is he going to die, he's going to die soon after this.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that happened like maybe weeks or days.
I remember after the speech at the end, too, I'm thinking, because the whole thing is about morals, like, I'm thinking about John Travolta's character, like, was he not morally in check? No. Like, I'm trying to think, what did he deserve at this punishment? Like, what did he do?
The funny thing is, this whole time, he's trying to talk, what were their fucking names? Because it's Vince. I know Vince Vega because he has his brother is in Reservoir Dogs. There's another Vega. Because they were even going to make a movie about the Vega brothers. But what was Samuel L. Jackson's character? Jules. His name was Jules, wasn't?
I think so.
Yeah, Jules. He's trying to talk Jules out of like quitting and everything, and he's he's very much disagreeing with a lot of the stuff that Jules is saying and wants him to stay and keep doing it. And that's the job that gets him killed not long after. While Jules is, probably off living a better life now.
Okay.
So it's very interesting. Yeah, no, like in the diner scene, like before he goes to the bathroom and the two start robbing the place, Vince is like saying like just thinks he's crazy.
Mm.
Because the bullets don't hit them, despite the fact that it probably should have hit them. And he considers it a miracle, and Vince does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, really, I can't. Maybe when I rewatch it, it'll be like a 9 out of 10 because the first story, even though it is good, is weaker than the other two, and maybe
it kind of does drag on a bit.
I don't think so. I really didn't feel like it dragged on at all. I liked all three of them a lot. I liked the two opening scenes a lot. It didn't overstay its welcome at all for me. I really loved it. I was very happy that it like, even after all these years of build up, it wasn't disappointing to me at all. So thank you for recommending it. I mean, it was funny because I was going to watch it regardless because I told you last episode I started watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still fun to talk about on the show. I enjoyed it. So let's so I give it like I'll say a 9 out of 10. Maybe I might really change my mind on this. I think maybe for it to be a 10 out of 10, the first story needs to be as great as the second.
I'd give it an 8 personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good score.
The first story was good, but I got really into it starting with the second one personally.
Yeah. And you thought, did you think the ending dragged on a bit?
The third story?
Yeah. Or was it just the first one that you thought?
No, the third one was great, I thought.
You just thought the first
Not
one
only did we get a sequel to the first story, like what happened after the apartment thing. Yeah. But, and also that car scene when the guy just accidentally blew the guy's head off.
Yeah, I know.
That was great. That was so unexpected.
And I was so anxious when I saw him holding the gun there because I was like,
I laughed so much during that scene.
I was like,
and the speech at the end was like,
I really want to move it, and then he gets shot. I'm like, oh my god!
And the Samuel speech at the end, it was the most.
Oh, really good.
I paid the most attention to that out of the whole movie. The first one, there's not that much I remember. If every story was great, I would maybe bump it up to a 9. But
the conversation in that is engaging to where I wasn't bored listening to them, but I can't really remember too much of what they were talking about. Though then again, I was drunk watching that scene.
Yeah.
I remember, I almost forgot about her overdosing when we started talking about this because I was drinking. But that was probably the most fun scene in the movie where they're trying to revive her.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. All right, so let's talk about Punch Drunk Love.
I saw this a few hours ago. Not a few hours ago. Yeah. It was a very weird movie. I might not have much to say about this one, but I feel like this is not the first time you've recommended a movie to me where the main character has been autistic or something. I feel like
What's the other one?
I don't know. Was Jim Carrey's character in Eternal Spotlight autistic or not? I don't know. Or was he just really shy?
I think he was just a very awkward person, and so was she.
I just remember during Punch Drunk Love so many times, especially during that one scene when he first walks into the house, or that whole scene where he walks into the house and he meets his family that in the beginning of the movie. It was just the most relatable thing to me. I was absolutely in his perspective, and I've absolutely had those conversations where him saying, "Oh, I'm good," and instead of saying "I'm food," mixing words or something. I've totally done something like that a million times.
I think it's so you have his family, and his sisters are just. It's not physical abuse, but it's an extremely abusive relationship he has with them. Yeah. They give him so much shit, and they do it for nothing. If he mispronounces a word, that's just enough for them to go off for 5 minutes on him. Mm-hmm. It's just they just treat him like he's a fucking idiot. You have him walk into the house, hearing them talk about him, and then he walks back out and walks back in and waits for it to be over.
Mm-hmm.
And he's they're trying to hook him up with a girl, and he's very nervous about them. He says, "Is she here?" And she says, "No, you're off the hook." It's just they're horrible. They're horrible people. I felt so bad for him in that one scene where he tells his brother-in-law about who's a dentist, and he considers that a doctor. So he asks him about I feel upset sometimes, and he's trying to keep it on the low because he doesn't want other people knowing about it. And then just immediately the next day at work, his sister knows. Not even a full 24 hours later. That was shitty, but there's people do that. People absolutely do that, and I sympathized with him so much throughout the whole thing. I think that's what I love about this the most. It's an awesome performance from Sandler. I really think that this was the perfect kind of character for him to play, and I just think it's so different from anything he's ever done before. It's really unique.
it was a bit much with the sounds he was making, the tongue sticking out. It was during that scene when he was running away from the dudes. That was the only time I felt like, okay, you're doing a bit much there, Adam. But
I don't agree, but I hear where you're coming from.
I don't know. It was a bit too.
He was freaked out.
Much.
Like he was freaked out. I've heard people get really worked up like that before.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I've never been chased after 3 guys who have been trying to kill me and take my money. So I love
that. What I love about that chase scene though is no one's chasing him.
Yeah, dude, we know where you live.
Yeah. Well, these people, like, yeah, they're like, you know, it's not you don't want people like that on you, but they're really not that intimidating. Especially the ending scene with Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie, where he like he goes in there still holding the fucking telephone, tells him that like goes off on him, and then they like, and then there's and you know clearly his character, even though like
he came here all the way to tell me that, yeah.
Yeah, he says, okay. And then he walks out and then he says, now get the fuck out of here, pervert. And then he says, didn't I warn you? He's like, oh, that's it. That was my favorite part because I've known people like that too. They just have to get the last word in, even though it's like a fight they can't
They're
win.
Just children. I love that. Even better, the first phone call they had where they didn't even have to say much. It was just like one guy said "fuck you." It was like, did you just say "fuck me"? And that's what made him lose it. And then he hung up.
That was a mistake.
Yeah,
you're fucking dead.
They barely even said anything to each other, but that's what.
Shut up! Just like such a huge temper tantrum.
That must have been so fun for the actors. Like they were actually screaming at the top of their lungs.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Just imagine you get paid for just screaming at no one on a fake phone, like at the top. Just like that's so fun.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
It's been such a fun scene. I said fun a lot there.
Yeah, I think my only gripe with the movie, and tell me what you think about this. I do think, as a whole, it's like well shot and well edited. Mostly because I think the shots are visually interesting and it's all put together very nicely. The exposure is insanely high throughout the whole thing, and I don't know
much about exposure.
Well, you know, it's very bright. Every single scene is very, very bright. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like in the warehouse, it's just always super. It's like It
didn't bother me. I didn't notice it, I guess.
I don't really care for it. I know like there's filmmakers who do that all the time, and I guess maybe it's a personal thing, but I don't know. Like I don't really think it should be. So many people do it that I guess it kind of is a personal thing, but to me it does just kind of feel like a mistake left in the movie. But people like it, people do it. I've seen other movies where they just have the exposure way too high throughout the whole thing. I never really see a point for that. Mm-hmm. Unless like maybe it's like a dream sequence or it's like something like that. But
I hear you.
I loved it a lot. I think that again, like the kind of the antagonist of the film, like the woman on the phone and Philip Seymour Hoffman's character are hilarious. I liked both of them a lot. I think the sisters are just like so fucking insane. And it's like kind of funny, but also kind of tragic at the same time. How bad like his relationship with them is. And there's an finish. Tell me what you think about this movie. Any other notes? There is a very interesting theory about this film I wanted to talk about real quick because it is interesting.
Okay. Yeah, there wasn't much I understood, and I would like to try to see if we can uncover anything, theorize.
My second watch, I noticed more of this. Some people say that like it's a theory with the movie that it's a retelling. It's a weird retelling of Superman because you have him wearing blue throughout the entire movie. He's always in that suit of his. Mm-hmm. His sister, like the sisters who are always giving him grief, they're always wearing green. That's like kryptonite. You have the scene where you have scenes where he's like showing this really unknown strength, like where he's able to beat the shit out of those people in the one scene. You don't see that coming at all because he kind of gets his ass beat the first time, but then the second time when he's ready for them, he just kicks the shit out of every single one of them. You have that scene with the plungers where he says like they're unbreakable. You can smash them against anything and it'll break, and then he just smashes it immediately.
Maybe that's once a coincidence. Who knows?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to go with it, like. You have the Lois Lane of the story. There's like, wasn't there like some, I don't know too much about Superman, but a lot of people, I forget exactly what it was because I wasn't familiar with what they were connecting it to. Because I really don't know too much about Superman.
I mean, I guess Seymour Hoffman was like a Lex Luthor mastermind kind of guy. I guess.
the piano, and it's not actually a piano. I'm trying to remember what the
Info, whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of it is, but that was somehow connected to it too. I don't know. It's not like it's just a theory, but I think it's actually a theory that has a lot. Like, look a video up on that sometime. There's actually a lot to it.
What did you think of the ending, like the last line, like "Here we go" when she hugged him at the end? I didn't really understand that.
Here we go.
Yeah, it was like, he was just in the warehouse. She walks in, she kind of hugs him from the back, and she's like, "Here
Okay,
we
I was
go."
like,
And then
I think it's just like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this relationship.
I feel like it was like, because like, he's like kind of like a ticking time bomb ready to explode at any moment, and it's, I don't know, something seems eerie about that last line to me.
I don't know about ticking time bomb. I think he has anger that he builds up.
He has anger spasms.
But the thing is, don't those sisters kind of deserve it though?
At the same time, he is what he was created to be in the end.
All three times he has an outburst in the movie. It has some fucking sisters that he's been dealing with his entire life. The first time he breaks the windows, which is another scene showing kind of his strength. He's able to break through that pretty easily.
I don't know what you mean there. I mean, that one scene where he's like yelling on the phone near the end of the movie, wasn't by his sisters.
Yeah, he's yelling on the phone after. Yeah, okay, so that scene, no, but I mean, it's still
wasn't just his sisters.
It's still reasonable. He's like very polite to them. He calls them on the phone saying, "Hey, look, I think what you did was wrong. You need, I'm gonna meet with you. We need to work this out." All right. He says, "Let me know what time we work for." He's being very polite throughout the whole movie, and then at the end, he just loses his mind. I mean, it's people who push him too far, I guess. Yeah. It's people who intentionally push him way too far. So I guess sisters.
But it's like, what if the girl, the romantic interest, someday just like pushes his buttons a bit? Like, she would be like.
But it's not like he gets. It's not like he gets angry with people who talk to him in a weird way or treat him like a child or just
maybe
like.
Thinking of it too realistically and not as much of a story. But like,
yeah, I really do think every single person he flips out on, you can say that it's like very, it's not good to act like that under any circumstances. But all of them felt like people who deserved it. In the restaurant, when he goes and destroys the bathroom, it's because he's learning all this shit that his sister is saying about him. In the end, my favorite, my other scenes in movies when he's on the phone, it's like I think in Hawaii, and he calls his sister, and he's like, "You're not gonna fucking treat me like this anymore. I'll fucking kill you. Is that what you want?" He just starts losing.
I want to see behind the scenes of that scene with like all the extras just laughing and like breaking character because of how outrageous that. Like he's just out in public yelling this.
But yeah, I understand that how some person might watch it and think it's just kind of weird and not get much out of it, but it's personally one that I really liked. And if you have anything else to say about it, say it. If not, we'll just rate it.
I'd say 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10. I have very few problems with it. I think the exposure thing is really the only thing I don't like. I don't think it overstays its welcome. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's nice and short. And every single minute felt well spent to me. I watched it twice in the last year. I'll probably watch it a third time. I really like it. I own the... Hold on.
Maybe it's because of like when I was watching, I just felt like way more awkward. Like it just set off some things in me. I just didn't feel like myself after. What is that?
Well, I'm sorry if I'm giving you movies with demons. I have the DVD right here. It's one of my collections. I'm gonna add Pulp Fiction to that collection. But anyway, yeah. I mean,
what?
My sister's calling me.
Well, then we better end. Oh.
Hello. Well, hold on. We have to recommend stuff still.
Oh.
In like 10 minutes, I can. All right. Bye. So that was my sister asking me to go pick her up, even though she said, and it is 8:25. So yeah, I really like it. I don't know. Did that movie actually have like any weird impact on you? I'm sorry for showing you movies that do that.
No, it was. I don't know. It was just like because there was some. It was very relatable. I was definitely in some of those situations. Where I
definitely felt anxious watching Punch Drunk Love both times. I mean, it is to me an anxiety-driven movie, but I'm okay with that in film. I'm okay with that in movies. I think that normally.
Oh, there's also all the stuff, those random scenes that happen where there would be like catastrophes happening around him, like the one scene where he's talking to the girl and just some guy rams the big machine into the wall. And all that stuff, and like when the truck runs over, the truck starts flipping and stuff. in the
So
beginning.
yeah, thinking of more stuff that like kind of connects to the Superman
And
lore,
where the
right?
guy's chair breaks. I just didn't understand that stuff.
Hey, if you ever want to watch it a second time and just like think about that. I mean, I don't again like it's. I'm not saying that's definitely the filmmakers. I don't know if they ever confirmed or denied any of that, but I heard that theory and I'm like, oh, there's actually kind of some weight to that. But anyway, let's do our next recommendations. You go ahead and recommend your thing first because mine will take explaining.
Have you ever seen Good Will Hunting with Matt
Nope.
Damon and Robin Williams?
Nope. I think this is the third time Matt Damon's coming up for us.
Yeah. He's a good actor. He's in a lot of good films,
yes.
coincidentally. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he is in good stuff. No, I have never seen Good Will Hunting. I'll do it. I saw it on Netflix actually the other day. Yeah, I saw that on there. I was thinking about adding it to my watch list. Won an Oscar. Did you know The Departed won Best Picture?
When?
The year it came out?
Huh.
I don't remember what year it came out.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, I think, won Best Picture. So yeah, you've recommended a couple Best Pictures to me. I think Eternal Sunshine won something, but I don't think it was Best Picture. I think they got something though. All right. Who's messaging me? Damn it. Okay. So yeah, I'll do Good Will Hunting. Now, the thing I want to do this time, I wanted to make it a little different. So I'm not giving you. You're going to be going to YouTube for this next one, and I want you to appreciate this because I compiled. I liked our discussion on the Ballad of Buster Scruggs because it's kind of like 6 short little films we talked.
Swear to God, if you're gonna recommend me Shrek Retold.
No, I'm not, but that's very possible. I found 6 short films online that I really like. And I made a playlist. I'm going to send it to you. And I went through every single DuckCast recommendation just to make sure I didn't recommend any of these already. So this is all new stuff unless you've seen it before.
Every single short film?
Yeah, so it's 6.
Oh,
yeah, every single thing I recommended on DuckCast, I went through this and checked.
No,
so
I mean, like, this whole playlist is going to be my recommendation?
Yeah, it's 6 videos. You know, it's going to be like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, except some of them are even smaller than the shorts. I think altogether, this is like less than an hour long.
Oh, okay.
But it's nothing. 4 of them are like close to 10 minutes, and then like 2 of them are like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through these. Tell me if you've even heard of any of them. So first, there's a Man in the Woods. You ever hear of that?
No, probably haven't heard of any of these.
The next one is The Backwater Gospel.
Okay.
I'm actually going to watch all 6 of these too, just so I'm caught up. Because some of these I haven't watched in a few years, but I just refound them. The next one is something I just found the other day, and I found it called Something Terribly Offensive.
Okay.
The next one is Little Quentin.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's amazing.
Prequel to Quentin Reviews, got it.
No. It's nothing to do with Quentin Reviews.
It probably is.
It has something to do with a Quentin that we talked about today, though. The next one is called Mike and Melissa, and I'm especially excited for you to talk about that one.
Okay.
And then the final one is called Cream, and it's done by the same guy who does the Salad Fingers, just to give you a little reference there. Very unique, by the way. So 5 of these are really good. One of them will be interesting to talk about. I want to make it clear for Mike and Melissa, I'm not just playing it to make fun of a person, because I don't even plan on making fun of anyone, but I do think it is fascinating what I saw with that one. It was, well, I'll give context later. You're gonna fucking hate me after you watch it, but the other 5 you'll really like.
Okay.
It's gonna get really uncomfortable.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so those are the 6 shorts I'm recommending, and they're very fun, and I'm gonna watch them all too. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got to say for this episode. I'll link the playlist. I'll send you the link to the playlist, and you can put it in the description of DuckCast 2. So if anyone listening wants to watch those 6 short films in my playlist, my conveniently made playlist, they can.